apparently JK is getting a lot of support, and there's a trend for this, which is absolutely hilarious. We need to talk about it. We also have people talking about the new film that is apparently coming out based off of the movie Love, Simon, or at least that's what the rumors are. And then we have YouTube allegedly removing subtitles in JK's videos and what's happening with that. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave. Decide hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. And make sure you join us fangirling on Patreon with some free content on Saturdays now, and let's go. People love to blame YouTube. They also love to blame the label for something. And I always find what people say to be very interesting, because most of the time it's them not really understanding what's going on. And most of the time it's not anything that anyone could even fix or remedy. It's just how things are. So what am I talking about and what's going on today? Well, apparently JK had a new video that was posted, and it was a bit of behind the scenes. I felt like this clip should have come out a long time ago, but I guess it's kind of cool that it's even being put out now. It's a video of the behind the scenes in Qatar. So it was very cute. It showed a lot of stuff, but people couldn't even watch it because there weren't subtitles in the video. Now, since then, the subtitles have actually been added back into the video, and there really aren't any problems anymore. However, this was trending for about half a day, where people were violently upset that the subtitles were gone, and they went to blame YouTube for this, saying that YouTube is targeting JK, and it seems like it's only his videos that get the subtitles removed, and this is going to hurt his career a lot, as a lot of international fans aren't going to be able to watch it and all this stuff. Now, when I heard this, I heard the backlash. Obviously, in my mind, as someone who is on this platform, I know that this is not something that YouTube does, because I can't just upload a video and then expect that these subtitles are just going to be added on. I actually have to go in the back end and add it in myself, and I do that for every single video, so that actually takes a long time between when the video gets uploaded on my page to when I actually hit the upload button and make it public. I personally also do a translation for all those subtitles. Fortunately, this is just automatically translated by YouTube, but I still have to click the translate button and in which language I want it to be translated in. There is an automatic translate button for most videos, but this is just when someone doesn't add subtitles, and I think it's an AI that's picking up what's being said and then they translate it in different languages. However, most of the time that is not very accurate. Now, the reason why this bothers me is because people aren't saying things like YouTube isn't being professional, or they're saying things like YouTube is purposely attacking JK without even realizing what exactly is happening. Because before you go on a hate train and start attacking someone for allegedly removing subtitles or whatever it is, why don't you just literally upload your own video and then see how it works? Literally, it's not like uploading a video is something that happens on the back end where it's like Netflix and most people don't know what's going on over there. YouTube is literally public and open for anyone to go in and figure out what's going on. So go in, figure out what's going on, but instead of doing that, you just hate. And a lot of people are just being lazy. So you're gonna run a hate train, calling someone unprofessional, insulting them, sending death threats to YouTube, all before you do actual research yourself. And also, being professional literally means that they're getting paid to do what their job is. And that's what YouTube is doing. They're being paid to do it. Now, YouTube actually responded to this to say that this is something that the label has to do on their own back end. And a lot of people then went on to this hate to say that the label had the subtitles there and then went ahead and removed it for some reason. Now, that probably didn't happen, but if that did happen, they probably removed it for a reason. The subtitles probably said something bad and they wanted to make sure that they could get an accurate translation before reinstating those subtitles. Now, is that the fault of whoever translated the video or whatever it is, and they didn't do a good job? Sure, I guess you could say that, and I can't really make a huge argument about that. But just give it time and you'll get the subtitles back, just like they always do. They like to play victim in this and say that this only happens with JK's videos. However, literally every other member and all their other solo fans of all the other members have said the same thing about each of their favorite members. There's also been this new release that has been going on. It's called I Am Still, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more later, but it's been released and it's announced that it will be a film that JK is putting out. And now what it's about, we have no idea, but they definitely wanted to put out this teaser to let the community know that something about JK is coming out. This could be a documentary about his album era, the Golden Album, and what that experience was like filming that. And that actually makes sense, as he probably maybe to some degree feel like the album represents him a little bit, or represents his dream of wanting to do more in America. I don't know. Now, the community decided to band together and essentially take every single big celebrity that's ever attended the Met Gala or attended a premiere that was dressed up and wearing really nice clothes, and kind of tweeting it and making a little bit of a joke, saying that XYZ celebrity is attending that I Am Still premiere. wearing this beautiful outfit and going on the red carpet. Now, the reason why they're doing this is because they're trying to gain some attention from these people's fandoms and communities, trying to get people to be like, oh, what is this I Am Still? And then Googling it, seeing what it's about. Now, this is where I call straight hypocrisy, because if someone were to do this with their favorite artist, let's say it's a Western artist and they use JK or use whatever K-pop star in this joke, people would always completely say that the Western celebrity or the Western's fandom is using K-pop for clout. Because if you're not using said celebrity for clout, why don't you just put I'm going to the I Am Still premiere? Why don't you just put your mom is going to the I Am Still premiere? They're purposely picking those big A-list celebrities that draw in people to see the tweet and maybe look up what I Am Still is. Now, from what I have seen about I Am Still, it's not really much information. We got a little teaser photo, and then we got a tweet about when it'll come out and what to expect in terms of that, but nothing in terms of the content of what it is. However, that hasn't stopped people from making some assumptions on what it could be about, and some people have talked about it being about Love, Simon or a gay film reference. So not too long ago, this was when the BTS members were recording themselves having dinner and talking about JK, and this line that was really famous in the movie Love, Simon was said, and he said, I am still me. Now, to give context on this phrase and where it came from and what it meant, in the scene in which Love, Simon said this, he was talking to his parents and he was saying whether he is gay or whatever it is, he is still himself and he is not a different person. And this line has then been used famously everywhere. And it's a pretty normal line that I think a lot of people use when talking about things like this or when they're talking about something that they are. But I think in this context, it made the line more powerful. And essentially to a newer generation that wasn't used to hearing the phrase, I am still me all the time. Now, of course, the title of this film, coupled with the fact that JK has said that word before, coupled with the fact that V has essentially mentioned his love for Call Me By My Name, which is also another gay film, people think that this is a reference to possibly JK coming out. And I understand where they're coming from. I still do think it's a bit of a stretch, though, because I Am Still versus I Am Still Me is very different and not the same thing. Why not just release I Am Still Me, right? I'm Still couldn't mean anything. It could mean that he is talking about he is still a celebrity or he is still here. And there's a lot that could be there with that. So to assume that it's referencing something that would even be considered taboo in Korea and to international fans would definitely be something that he wouldn't do. However, I hope one day that he does put out something like that. And I don't mean that if he decides to come out and put something out like that, but I mean that more something to relate to the LGBT community and something that resonates with them. He put out Left and Right by Charlie Puth, and he put out his fanfic in which his character represents him being an LGBT member. So I think that it's not against what he believes in to put out content like that or to appeal to this community, so I hope to see more of that in the future. However, given that this is likely going to be a nod to his album and to his golden era, then he probably isn't going to be singing or talking about those topics. It just wouldn't really fully make a lot of sense because he has a bunch of songs talking about sleeping with women or whatever it is. And again, this is just my theory because I wouldn't know what the film would be about otherwise unless this is like a full like album film or like a full storyline film where it's like written and it's not real and it's just acting in it. So my guess is it's probably a documentary or it's going to be a tour film where it's going to be a concert and he is just airing it in the cinema, which is kind of like a new trend that is happening right now. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks. Just leave a comment right here. Love you. Bye.